Hey, coming to you live from WRUE in Tennessee, it's the Scribbling Woman.
Hi, I'm Nancy Rue. I am a scribbling woman, and so are you, and that's why we're having this conversation. Here, we talk about the writerly life that is unique to you, no matter your age, your season, or where you are in your creative journey, even if you don't think you have one yet. You are now an official Scribbly, so let's talk. And Happy New Year, Scribblies! Now, you may not be hearing this at the start of 2026, but wherever you're building from is always a fresh start, whether it's January or March or the end of a blistering August. In fact, that's the theme of the series we started last time, building from where you are right now, today, in this exact moment. And as writers, we know how to do that because it starts with a word, a single word. And we all know the concept of a word for the year. It's a guidepost for self-care or self-improvement or inner worth. Mine this year is closer, closer to God, closer to well-being, closer to my authentic self. Feels both comforting and challenging, doesn't it? But a writerly word for the year is a little different. So let's go in and look at its special qualities. First, a writerly word for the year is specific. It lasers into where we want to put our energy and how we want to open up to the possibilities. Since we're wordsmiths and we can't help ourselves, we get to expand to 2 words, but 2 words max, no more. Because the idea is to be succinct so we can channel our creativity and imagination in the direction we want to go. It's kind of like writing poetry. Since we're limited to a few words, each one has to be precise and packed with unspoken meaning. I started off with freedom. Then I made it more specific and called it creative freedom. The second quality of writerly word for the year is that it expresses an intention rather than a goal. So rather than, I'm going to write for 2 hours, 5 days a week, our word is commitment. We replace, I'm going to find out where my writing fits, with niche creation. We discard, I will attend every writer's conference I can until I snag an agent, and embrace instead confidence or writerly worth. Because words and phrases like commitment, niche creation, and confidence are attainable. They set us up for success rather than failure. Quality number 3. The word or phrase is about who we want to become as writers, not about what we want to accomplish. That comes later. So instead of published, we go with reader connected. Not bestseller, but personal best. We trash trendy and choose authentic. Goal words usually depend on someone else. Being published, being part of a trend, becoming a best-selling author are not really within our power, or at least not ours alone. Intention-based words like personal best, reader connected, and authentic are entirely up to us, working in cooperation with the source of our gift. In fact, the fulfillment of our writerly word can't be reached through anyone else. No one is going to give me permission to be free in my writing. I might find support and encouragement for it, but the freedom is simply mine to leap into. So the word is intensely personal, and it speaks to us on an individual level. So in my case, creative freedom may not sell books, but my writing will be unencumbered by expectations. It will represent what I know is true. The fourth and final quality is the most delightful. Our word or phrase needs to be something we can envision and then express in a symbol or a metaphor. As I closed my eyes and pictured creative freedom, I saw my writing as a happy fluttering of fledglings just learning to ride on the creative wind, taking flight and flying above what I've done before. Suddenly, my phrase was no longer creative freedom, but creative soaring. Picture the word you are considering. Can it be envisioned in a symbol or a metaphor? The word published can't be. Reader connected can be. Don't you see your hand reaching from your work for the hand of whoever reads it? Bestseller as a word or a phrase doesn't lend itself to imagery, but personal best does, because there you are, bursting from the center of a sun, arms wide, shining like the fabulous writer you are. If our writerly word or phrase for the year is specific and intention-oriented, personal on a metaphorical level, we have the cornerstone for building from where we are now. How then do we discover that wonderful writerly word? It may just come to you. You may already have it. It may have taken shape as we've been talking here. But if you need a little bit more guidance, I'm going to offer a simple process that might help you land on one or give you discovery ideas of your own. So first, on a piece of paper in landscape position, that's horizontal, write on the left side where you were as a writer this time last year. But think about your inner writerly self as well as the state of your work. In my case, I wrote down, I was anxiously wondering if after 43 years of traditional publishing, I still fit in the writerly world. Now, on the right side, right where you are now. Here's a warning. It probably won't feel there or done. It just may seem farther along in a positive direction. Or there's a chance that it looks the same. Or maybe it's even taken a step backwards, and that's okay. This isn't about measuring success. It's about knowing where you are. So mine, on that end, was confident, yet knowing there's more ahead than just fitting. Now, if you want, you can fill in the space between the two with all the steps and gifts and discoveries that took you from one end to the other. And that will show you that you had agency. So for me, among the things that I discovered was how to publish a book, how to self-publish a book, how to design a book trailer. But I also found out that adding a newsletter to my online presence was more than I could take on right now. So not everything is going to feel like, yes, victory. Second, after you celebrate what you've learned, then look carefully at what you've written about where you are now. Forget where you were last year. Now, don't judge it. Simply ponder it. Journal about it. Picture yourself there and write or draw what that looks like, literally. So I see myself perched at the edge of my comfortable nest up on a cliff. I'm not looking down, but out at the vast space I haven't explored yet. I'm hunkered, just being there and being grateful, and yet. Now, third, what does that picture whisper to you or show to you about what awaits you beyond where you are? Not a goal, but a possibility. Not a milestone, but a direction or a new place for your writerly self to dwell. So let's say that this time last year, you felt like you were in a writing box. And right now, you have realized you've climbed out of the box and you're kind of leaning against it. So is this the year to fold it up and put it away? Maybe this time last year, you were so sure you were just going to knock out this book and it was going to be awesome. And right now you feel like a quivering, discouraged mess. But is this the time when you get out of bed, wash your hair, and tell all the false voices where they can take their naysaying in whatever language you want to use? If you weren't very confident last year, but you walked with renewed confidence this year, but you haven't shared the journey with anyone, might this be the season when you let other people see where your work is taking, as in you let them read it? As I perch at the edge of the nest and look outward at the vastness of possibilities, I realize I don't want to just fit. Not in this season of lessening years. If I don't leave a legacy for creative freedom now, when will I? Now, as you consider that, especially if you did it in writing, A word, a phrase, a symbol, or a metaphor will come to you. And it'll be like a whisper or a nudge or a picture of your wonderfully wacky mind. Consider it as an unconventional image, unboxed, kick-ass boots, convivium of readers. This is where the concept of soaring came to me, because it's not just being free or merely flying, but according to the dictionary definition, increasing rapidly above the usual level. Fourth, try it out. Just sit with it for a while. See how it feels in your mouth, how it sounds when you say it, what it looks like when you write it down. How does it land? How does it suit? Is it you? Now, it may feel unfamiliar at first, but hang with it a little bit. All of this is going to happen over time, and we'll talk about that in future episodes in this season. But when a writerly word for the year is authentic, new ways and new ideas will begin to spring up. Since I discovered that soaring was the perfect word for this year, I've been carried to a decision to redesign my website. I have spread my wings into ways to lead people who need them to my books and to this podcast and all things Scribbling Woman without being afraid of promoting. And I have flown with Jim, my producer and husband, to create a new look for the studio. What do you think? Your writerly word or phrase for the year may open you up to a new kind of writing or lead you deeper into what you're already creating. It might broaden your scope or help you hone to a finer focus. It could give you wings or keep you more grounded. And again, we're going to talk further about that in the weeks to come. For now, let's be sure we're all clear on what the word should not do. And that includes, it should not set up unrealistic expectations. It's going to take a minute for me to fly like nobody's watching. I've seen eagle fledglings on their first foray from the nest. They're hilariously spastic, and I probably will be too. We should not shape it according to what they tell you it has to be. Trends, social media numbers, what agents and editors are looking for, what your religious or political affiliations dictate. And it should not even for a second, heed the voice of your boho. Remember the big old hairy obstacle? The one that hisses that you're kidding yourself. You're being selfish, or you're going to hell in a handbasket. Ignore all of that. Your word or phrase is creative. It's imaginative. It's yours, and it is just right. In our next several episodes, we'll explore setting specific intentions based on your writerly word and dreaming some steps to take on the journey so you can build from where you are right now. In the meantime, no matter what the calendar says when you hear or watch this, happy new writerly year. And if you want some more intensive companionship on your writerly way, start that year with The Scribbling Woman. It's an interactive companion for writerly women in any season. And it will be available just 8 days from now. Count them, January 5th, 2026 on Amazon and Ingram Spark. If you go the Amazon route, simply log onto their website and type in Nancy Rue, The Scribbling Woman paperback. Whatever your writerly word, this book will address it. So treat your writerly self. You deserve it. And until next time, I want you to scribble on.